Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we're going through Philippians right now, and we're in a section in chapter 1 where it's why is it great that Paul is in prison? We're talking about that in 3 episodes, and today is the third of those episodes. And so the first one we talked about is because the guards were converted. The second reason is because boldness happened. Paul was bold, and as a result of that, other people were bold in sharing the gospel. The third thing, what we're talking about today, is that the gospel is going out. All right. As you can see here, I'm not in the regular studio. I'm not in the prison set that we normally have. I am actually filming this with Hurricane Ian going on, and it's blowing, right behind me. So you're going to hear during this episode and the previous 2 episodes that noise going on, the hurricane noise going behind me. And the whole point here too is this: Paul was in prison, and you're looking like, how can anything great come out of that? And Paul says, yeah, something great came out of it. Well, I'm sitting here in this hurricane, and I'm thinking, how can anything great come out of this? Well, I'm sure God has a plan of something that will become great out of this whole thing. Okay? As I'm sitting here, we're in the home here today, I'm seeing destruction, happening all around us. Out front here, the basketball hoop just got tossed across the driveway. The trees are down. Trailers are being, moved around because trees are being moved around. Pool fence is now damaged, and all kinds of things like that. But God has a plan, okay? And something good is going to happen out of this whole thing. Let's read today from Philippians chapter 1, verses 12 through 18, all right? It says this: Now I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. It served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I'm in chains for Christ, and because of my chains, most of the brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all the more to proclaim the gospel without fear. It is true that some preach Christ out of envy and rivalry, but others out of goodwill. The latter do so out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of the gospel. The former preach Christ out of selfish ambition, not sincerely, supposing that they can stir up trouble for me while I'm in chains. But what does it matter? The important thing is that in every way, whether from false motives or true, Christ is preached. And because of this, I rejoice. Okay? The thing here today that we're looking at is, we looked at yesterday that the day before, that the guards were converted. Yesterday we talked about the boldness. Today we're talking about that the gospel is going out. Paul is saying here, hey, the gospel is going out. And you know what? He says some people are, preaching the gospel out of envy and jealousy. But he says, you know what? At the end of the day, the gospel is going out. We might not be happy about the way the gospel is going out and being proclaimed, but the gospel is going out. Okay? So I might not like the way some guys do things, the music they play with their services, or the way they talk, or all kinds of things. I could pick it apart. But you know what? The gospel's going out. And so I have to pull back, and I have to go, I may not like their music. I may not like the way they speak on all this, but the gospel is going out. And we're on the same team. I'm trying to get the gospel out just like another guy is trying to get the gospel out. And so that's what Paul is saying here. He's saying, these people are doing it not out of the right motives necessarily, but the gospel is going out. And that's what I'm happy about, is that the gospel is going out. Okay? So those are the 3 things as to why it was great that Paul was in prison. And he says it, not me, he says it. And the first one was that the guards were converted. The second one was that it provided boldness for him, and then the people around him also became bold in sharing the gospel. And then the third thing is that the gospel was going out. Hey, thanks for joining me on this lovely hurricane-filled day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Philippians. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.